Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Supporting His, Fulfilling Yours. I'm your host, Anissa McLaughlin, and today my very, very special guest is Jordyn Woods. Jordyn is one of my close friends. She's an entrepreneur. She is a designer, an artist, a model, literally everything. She does it all. And then she's also the partner to Karl-Anthony Towns, who is on the Timberwolves. So thank you for joining us, Jordyn.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited we made this happen because you're literally everywhere all the time.
Everywhere, all at once.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. That's the youngest we'll ever be.
Facts.
Enjoy it.
Very true. Okay, so of course, you know, the basis of this podcast is like how you as a partner balance it all. And I feel like you have done an amazing job of doing it all with your relationship and then also pursuing the things you want to do and fulfilling yourself. So let's start from the beginning and let's hear the story of how you and Carl met.
So Carl and I were mutual friends. We were friends like before we started dating. We knew each other for years. And actually, it was all timing. I think it was timing. Like in my life, there was like no one I was talking to. I was just kind of like more to myself, isolated. And one day I saw he had gotten in like a car accident with an 18-wheeler. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like not talking to anyone right now. Like just not even friends. I was like talking to nobody, just very to myself and my journey with God and my family. And he's always been like a really nice person. So I'm like, all right, let me check on him. That night we must have talked for like 5 hours. And after that, it just like triggered like a deeper level of our friendship. Cause it's like, okay, now he's like calling me all the time. We're talking. But just like really as friends, like best friends. He's like playing video games with my brothers, talking to my mom. Like, I don't know how, but like over like maybe a year and a half, like we just became best friends. And then his mom got sick and she ended up passing away from COVID. And just me being able to relate to that with my dad passing, it kind of just like brought us together in a way that unfortunately trauma brings people together. And we've been dating ever since. It's been like almost 4 years.
So were you guys dating before his mom passed? Like were you officially together? Because
we actually weren't dating at all.
Okay. So
when his mom passed, we were best friends. And then I ended up flying out here and my family came and like my mom was there for his dad. Like being a widow and our families just kind of like connected. And then all of a sudden, the rest is history.
And you guys all quarantined together, right? Here in Minnesota?
We did. It was actually an amazing time. Despite the trauma and the things that everyone was going through, Minnesota in the summertime,
beautiful.
Amazing. And then also this house and like being outside and being able to like go bike riding and like play in the backyard and go swimming. It's like we don't really have to go anywhere.
Right. This is like a dream location to quarantine.
Literally, it was like everything. Quarantine was not even a real time. It was like the most amazing time for some people and then like the worst time for some people.
Yeah.
But you could find beauty in like all of everything. It, I would say.
For sure. And I feel like you guys found each other in like both vulnerable times. Like you had just come out of so much and then he was dealing with so much. I know you said like trauma sometimes bond you guys, but did that ever create an issue with you guys or was it more of a positive experience?
I think in every positive thing there's negative things if it's real. And sometimes it's just like people don't really, especially men, especially athletes, they don't really know how to deal with emotions and trauma. They're always taught to like keep going, push forward, not face things. And COVID gives you an opportunity to kind of slow down. You're not focused on basketball. You're not focused on everything. And you have to like face things. And I would say some things would come up. And at the time, you're not understanding where is this coming from? Like, why are you upset about this? But really, it's like trauma and grief coming up in other ways. So I would say, like, maybe if we got in like a dumb argument, I'm like, okay, this is actually you grieving. It's not you being real. Like, how do I put this? I would say sometimes you pick arguments about things because you're actually upset about something else and it's not really having to do with anything that's going on. But I would say him going through certain things he was going through helped me heal from things I was going through that I didn't realize I still needed to heal from. So it's like a super kind of healing journey for me as well.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a time.
Yeah.
It's a time. It was like real work straight from the beginning.
For sure. And I think you guys have like, it's amazing to see how much you guys both have been through individually and then have had to navigate together. And then to see you guys where you are now, it's just...
Yeah, we've grown a lot. We really have grown a lot. I feel like we've matured so much, and like it'll be 4 years in May. We're in March right now. Wait, February?
We're in February.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be 4 years in May. And I think, and like just this 4 years is so long, but it's also not very long. And in this short, long time, we've grown a lot.
Yeah. So, okay, so you guys meet, you quarantine, and then you guys are just like attached. Like you guys are best friends.
Yeah, it's been years.
How did you then get back into regular life and get going again? What was that like for you, and how have you balanced building your empire while supporting his?
Trying to go back to the beginning of like quarantine kind of being over. Like remembering the first game that we could go to and no one was there.
Right.
It was like you could only sit in the family section and you could like sit above.
And you couldn't sit with people who
weren't
in your family.
I'm like, so that was definitely interesting. But I'm trying to remember when I decided like, okay, I'm ready to get back. I mean, during COVID, a lot of people really also blossomed like on social media. TikTok became a thing. YouTube. I was putting out a lot of like YouTube content. I was still doing some brand deals because I feel like I was like pretty active on social media during COVID and doing all the dances and stuff with my sister on TikTok. And it just like, even though everything in all of our lives felt like it was falling apart, it also felt like it was a little bit refreshing. Not obviously what's happening in the world and the sickness, like it's a terrible thing, but being able to kind of decompress and spend time with your family and like really get to know each other. Relationships either blossomed or they like it completely exploded.
Yes.
There was no in between, because you really got to know these people.
Yeah.
When you date someone who has a career as a professional athlete, you don't get to spend that much time with them.
At
like
all.
When you get to date during COVID, you really get to know these people. You really get to like see if it's worth it. When you're dating an athlete, you're like, oh, I see you like, I don't know, like what?
A couple days a week, maybe every couple weeks.
If you want to like fly out there.
Right.
And it's amazing. Like they're getting to fulfill their dreams.
Absolutely.
And you get to support them. But sometimes you do have to remember to support yourself. And like, we don't have kids, so it's easier for us right now. But like the second you have kids and like having to worry about traveling and being there and like you really have to pour into them the whole season. And then I always say the off season is my season.
Right.
I'm like, okay,
it's my time to thrive.
Summertime is my season.
Right.
You could be the stay-at-home dad. You could take all my videos. You can whatever. But like the beauty of it is I've had my own career before dating him.
Right.
So there's a level of a lifestyle that I want to sustain on my own. And I think that it's so important to have your own, just for you. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just like you don't have to pay for bills or you still have the ability to go out and do whatever you want with your money.
Right.
Whether you want to get them a gift, whether you want to donate it to people, whether you want to spend it on yourself, whether you want to spend it on your family, whatever it is, you still have the ability to do whatever it is with your own legacy. Because at the end of the day, I feel like we always forget that we have to pour into ourselves. Like,
for sure, especially as women too.
Turn this off.
So Woods by Jordyn has been like your baby the last, I would say, couple years, right? Like if you from start to finish, like
from conception.
Yes, from conception to birth, and then it's growth.
To growing.
It's just you just celebrated like first year of your first like launch. How has that been for you? And then how has Carl supported you in that process?
Yeah, Carl, he's super supportive. Like, whatever I need, whatever advice, just even being there for me, he's like my biggest cheerleader. I would say entrepreneurship is one of the hardest jobs. It's amazing because everyone's like, oh my God, you get to work for yourself, but you're never off the clock. Like, you're 24 hours a day, have to be available. Like, anything could happen, you have to figure it out.
Right.
So it's kind of like more rewarding in the end, but it's a lot more work. And I love it, though. I mean, it's like, I just love being creative, and I love like creating things. And I feel like Woods by Jordyn is so much more than just like an apparel line to me. It's like a brand in its own, and I have so many plans on just doing things within the community as well. So for me, it's just like building that foundation and building something that can stand on its own where people feel supported. And also we build a community of like inclusivity and creating clothes and different things for everybody and every person. Yeah. So for me, it's more of a movement rather than just like putting out a product.
And I love that you don't put yourself in a box. Like, I mean, you started off with clothing, but since then you've had candles come out, like, and now the sweatsuit, it's not just dresses.
So comfy too.
Right. And you're just like constantly evolving.
Yeah. I wish I was putting out more. It's just like so time consuming when you're actually creating the product from nothing and you're getting the right manufacturer and you're doing it ethically and like even budget wise. I'm like, this is insane. This is not like, and I'm so blessed and I'm so lucky. There's nothing, but it's just like everything isn't as simple as it seems. Yeah. But I feel like my true passion is more like lifestyle. I'm always on the go. I want to create something for like whatever I'm feeling in that moment. I don't really want to like put myself in a box or a category.
Yeah.
So like if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm golfing so much, I feel like there's not cute like golf clothes for women. I want to make I want to make like everything.
So you just mentioned passion. Mm-hmm. Like, and then you had all these ideas. What is like the ultimate goal? What makes you feel the most fulfilled? What do you want to like look back on and like it be your like biggest pride and joy?
One day, probably my family. But for now, I just like helping people. I feel like my purpose is really to help people. I feel like I don't really live for myself, even though it may seem like that. I'm always doing everything for my family and for the people around me. Mm-hmm. So really, it's just like, if I leave Earth tomorrow, I want people to remember like, oh, she made me feel amazing. Like, oh, I feel like she impacted my life, whether that was me being positive, smiling, saying hello, sharing that moment with someone. To me, it's not really about like making the most money or doing the biggest thing. It's just about impacting the most people in a positive way and helping them feel good, even if they feel good for a moment, whether it's in clothes they're wearing, I don't know, whatever it is. I just want people to feel good when they think about me, and our time here is so limited, you know? Yeah. It's not really about like what you had or what you didn't have.
Right. And as somebody who knows you, I feel like that is something you exude like all the time. You and Carl, I feel like you guys are the most giving people to everyone around you.
Yeah,
and you're like he's extreme. No, but you guys do make everyone feel seen and supported, and you guys are such lights. So you are definitely walking in your purpose with that. And
thank you. I feel like as humans, we always struggle with our purpose. Like, what is our purpose? Why are we here? Like,
yeah. I don't think we have just one, though. I feel like it's like a season of what you're supposed to be doing in that time, whether it's like my purpose is to focus on my family. My purpose is to give to the community and all these things. But I feel like there's seasons and reasons. We always talk about that.
I also think people think your purpose has to always feel good.
Yeah.
And sometimes your purpose isn't going to feel amazing. Sometimes you're not going to be super happy walking in your purpose, because sometimes in order to get to that next part of your life and your purpose, you have to go through adversity. You have to kind of feel uncomfortable. Like, I've never grown fully as a person feeling comfortable. Like, your purpose is not always going to feel good.
I love that.
But it's your purpose.
I love that so much. That is a unique and special way to look at purpose.
Because if we look at life, we're like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard? It's not feeling good. Like, I'm not always the most happy doing this. I don't always feel like life feels like it's rainbows and butterflies. But to be honest, like, hard work will get you there.
Right.
Grinding will get you there. Being sometimes embarrassed or sometimes going through different seasons will get you to that true purpose. So
1,000%.
if you're hearing this, your purpose is not
keep working.
always, just stay focused because the good will come.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's get into you and Carl. Back into this. What is Carl like in off the court, in real life, as a boyfriend? Like, who is he? Because I feel like people just see the interviews, the on the court.
I feel like people, if they knew him, there's like nothing to not like about him. Just as a person. Why my voice crack?
So you get emotional, choked up.
As a person, he's like has a heart like no other. He's one of the nicest, genuine people you'll ever meet. He cares so much about everyone. He will go above and beyond for everyone in his life. And it's rare that you meet people that are just so genuine and like have no negative intention. And I feel like with him, even like in our personal life, just us talking, I've never heard him talk bad about anyone. He like doesn't, he's just like such a good person. Like when we first started dating, I'm like, I don't want to lose my friendship with him because he's such a good person. He's someone I always want to have as an ally. That is this even worth it? But take the leap, guys. Take the leap. Date the nice guy. It's worth it.
They're great, huh? Nice guys.
I mean, nice guys have bad days too. I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, like we don't argue. Yeah, sometimes we argue about stuff. We both have very strong opinions, personalities, and sometimes very opposite. So sometimes we clash, but a lot of times we both understand what the bigger picture is. So opposites attract.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what the goal is like to get past whatever that obstacle is. It's not you versus him. It's like, and how do we get over this?
Keep it spicy.
Right.
Sometimes you need a little
sprinkle.
A little, I don't know. Let's like argue about like what we're going to eat and then let's get over it. Like sometimes you need a little, not in a toxic way, but a little bit of adversity, like I said before, promotes growth.
Yeah, it builds character.
Yeah.
Nothing
useless.
Crazy though.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Don't be like me. No, I'm not crazy.
No, you guys.
Well, we all have our moments. We're girls.
Right.
We PMS.
I feel like, and if you weren't, there's not a little crazy, you don't care.
I know you have a little crazy.
Absolutely. But Jordyn's the most like chill.
I feel like you have more crazy with your sisters and stuff like that. I feel like when it comes to Jordyn, you guys like don't.
Chilling.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And he's just so calm, cool, collected that it's just like, there's
nothing
nothing
babe, whatever you want.
got it. Yeah.
You're like, okay. Wait, I wanted you to like.
Right. Like, that's it?
Okay, it's that easy.
But I will say a healthy relationship will expose the parts of you that you have to work on. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've had that experience of like where you're like, ooh, I guess I did have some toxic tendencies.
I still do. I definitely still do have toxic tendencies, but not in like a way of, oh, I want an issue. It's just that we all have trauma from things in our life that we haven't healed from or even confronted. So sometimes like I wouldn't say I have abandonment issues, but in a way I do. I think when you lose a parent, especially at a young age, it creates a level of abandonment issues. And also just like going through so much, you have like somewhat, I would say, yeah, maybe I have like slight abandonment issues where I'm kind of like waiting for someone to leave.
Yeah.
And then it's like whether it's like life or I'm just like waiting for someone to do the wrong thing to where like sometimes you push someone away.
Yeah. When
you expect like everyone to leave. But I really like who I have in my life right now. So like I don't want anyone to leave.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the trauma comes through where like sometimes you're a little toxic where you're like, let me push this button to see. Let me test you to see if you're going to stay.
Right.
And I think him and I both do that to each other, but we both know
no one's going
what
anywhere.
it is. Like, it's
Right.
fine.
Right.
But I think sometimes that's where, like, trauma can come through, where you're not realizing, oh, maybe I am dealing with this. Or the beauty of me, I would say, is that I can identify why I act a certain way, or like why I feel a certain way.
Yeah, you're very self-aware.
Yeah,
sure.
very emotionally intelligent, where I would say, like, okay, I can have a conversation. I'm sorry I acted this way because I was feeling this.
Yeah. So recognizing that, and like the abandonment that you sometimes feel like, or it come up, get triggered, how have you, because I feel like, and you've experienced this in different ways, how do you like interact in your day by day with like not allowing the things you've been through fully dictate how you interact with women or your relationship and all of these things? Because I feel like you still have such a pure heart.
You know what? You can't let things that happen to you define you. You also can't allow that to dictate everything that you do in your life. Like, do I have trust issues? I've had trust issues my whole life. I grew up in LA. Like, we're in this world. We're going to have trust issues. Right. You're going to have people that want to be around you for the wrong reason. I keep a very small circle, as you know. I'm friendly with everyone. I have very few people I really, like, consider my confidant or my friend. But I think there's so many also amazing people in the world, and there's something to learn from everyone. And there's some people that are good entertainment. But I think there's levels to it. And as like someone that has like boundaries, which that's something in my older age I've developed, is like, it's okay to say no. It's okay to speak your mind. It's okay to have boundaries. Whereas before I would like never want to say no to people, or like maybe not establish healthy boundaries. But I would say like, just take every day for what it is and take people for who they are. Don't overthink it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, the presence. And when you're not feeling it, take yourself out of that situation.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a good sense of energy, and like,
I
want to say we're like empaths. So we could look at someone and they don't even have to speak, and I'm going to know, okay, I'm not feeling your vibe.
Right.
I'm going to just like look at Anissa and look back.
Literally,
we're going to laugh about it. They're going to come say hi. We're going to say hi. We're going to be nice. We're nice people.
Right.
And then we move on.
I love that we can give each other a look and be like, and then we just keep it
we'll
going.
Talk about this later.
Add that to the agenda.
Like, so, or sometimes there's things I don't even think you see, and then you bring it up to me, and I'm like, oh, you saw that? Like, yeah, that's crazy.
We definitely feel the vibes, like, immediately.
I'm like, yeah.
We catch everything, too.
Yeah, I was about to make a joke, but it was a little shady.
We're like, Okay, so we know, I mean, everyone has seen online, Carl's a romantic. He will plan out the dates, the gifts. He has like gone above and beyond. What has been your favorite gift this far?
What's crazy is a lot of people think, oh my gosh, she just like what she does spoil me. But they're like, oh, it's just extravagant things. Like, oh, but like everything actually has an intention, a reason. Like we talked about it before, or we've seen it, or he has like a plan. Like, I wanted to buy you this dress because I picture you wearing it in Paris at Fashion Week, or whatever it is. So it's like every gift actually has like a story behind it. I'm trying to think. Well, when we were just friends, he surprised my family with Christmas gifts. And I've known Carl for a long time. He's like, back in the day, he wasn't like a big gift person. So to me, I was like, oh, you're getting me gifts. This is great. Like, we're friends, but it's like, whatever. So he got my family all nice things, but he custom made me a game with my own photos. what do you call it? What do you meme? Do you know what do you meme?
Yes.
But he made me all the memes and like all things I would say on the other cards, and he like mailed it to me. And I was like,
wait,
whoa,
why
like,
have we never heard this story before?
I have it at my house still. But like he literally made me my own game, like took photos, like I had been working on it for like a month.
Oh my gosh.
Got them laminated and everything.
See, I give him such a hard time when
like,
it comes to you, but I know that he's such a softie, and he tries to act like he
tries
isn't.
to act hard, but it's fine.
Right,
it's
we
fine.
know, and now we have proof.
Now you have
We're gonna
the
get
what
photos
do you
of the
meme.
game. Yeah,
yeah. I literally still have it. Like, there was this. Let me see if I could find it.
That is so cute. You'll have to show me after, or send me photos of it.
Yeah. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Okay.
It's going to take me too long.
No, it's fine. I love that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually haven't really told that story
Yeah,
before.
I'm like, I cannot believe this game.
I know.
And, okay,
I need to pull it out.
Right, and in that game, and if you know, he's got you Birkins, all these things, but the thing that means most is something he took the time to
Mm-hmm.
put in.
Even with, like, he got me this Birkin one time for our 1-year anniversary. And he was like, for like 2 months before, we had a debate. Like, he's like, what's the most amazing Birkin you've ever seen? And we, like, had an argument. We were, like, arguing, like, I like this one. He's like, are you sure there's, like, this? I'm like, no. This one is special. So for our year anniversary, he surprised me with it. Literally, I was like, I don't like, I didn't know I was getting this. I thought we were, because we always, like, just
debate
about random stuff.
Right. You guys are your own debate team.
We're like an old married couple. We're like, ugh, which one? No, you think this? You think, yeah. We like to debate.
For sure. And I know that he has been, I feel like I remember seeing this like for a birthday or something. He was like, I want to invest into you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's something many men don't do because they don't want to see their woman grow or like do better or not need them.
That's where the Woods by Jordyn funding came.
Shout out to Carl.
Shout out to you. Because it's not cheap starting a business.
Yeah.
You can start a business, like, anyone can start a business, but like if you want to have the capital to be able to invest in like having the proper things to do it, it takes money. So that was super helpful. Definitely gave me a head start.
For sure. And that had to have meant a lot for you. Just, it took the weight off of like that financial stress of like, how am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this? Because even doing anything on your own, like I've done businesses with partners, but like doing it, like I'm doing it all me. Yeah. It's way more than I anticipated.
How does that make you feel though, to have someone who's like willing to invest in your dreams?
I mean, it's like, I have to pinch myself every day. I'm like, is this real? Like, you don't want anything in return? Like, a lot of people are willing to help you with conditions. Mm-hmm. And he just does it because he wants me to succeed. And having a guy that wants you to succeed, it should be a common thing, but it's really not. A lot of guys are really insecure. Like, as I'm getting older and I'm talking to so many different women going through different things, I'm like, guys are more insecure than us. Like, I don't know, is this controversial to say?
I think so. And I think like they're scared of a strong woman. They're scared of independence.
They think that they're the prize and that they need to be chased. And like, it's fine. Like, to each his own. But to me, I feel like you can get the best version of a woman when you're also pouring into her and uplifting her. And whether you're supporting her emotionally, financially, I think emotional goes very far. Financially also helps a lot. I think a lot of women want to feel supported in both ways. Right. But like, there's a lot of men that will give you the money but won't actually be there for you. Right.
And I think the beautiful thing is like, you have your own. Mm-hmm. So it's like he can come with the money, but that's not going to be what keeps you. Like, you don't need it. You don't want it.
Yeah. That's not my love language at the end of the day, like quality time, doing things together. Our favorite things to do are like, let's go on a walk together. Let's watch a movie together. Like, as long as you make time to do something together with your partner, you don't have to like go to the most extravagant place.
Yeah.
I like always talk about this. Like, a lot of people stop dating after they've been dating for so long. And sometimes the date is really like, let's get in the bed together and watch them. A lot of people just don't take the time to do something together.
Right. Just quality time. That was like one of my conditions when Jordyn proposed. I was like the non-negotiable of like what I wanted of a marriage. Yeah. I'm like, you cannot stop dating me. Like, complacency is my biggest fear.
Yeah.
In a marriage, like in life, because you hear that so often. Like, girl, he'll stop doing that once you're married. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
But a lot of men, they say after you have kids, feel like
the woman stops doing things too. So I have to hold up my end of the bargain when that time comes.
We're not there, but like, I always wonder that, because I'm like, it's really hard giving your all to a man, kids, your career, your family. Like, it's hard to be everything for everyone. So like, finding that balance, let me still date my man, let me still show up for my family, let me still show up for myself, my kids. Like,
I know, right? Just thinking about it, like when we add kids in the mix, I'm gonna be stressed. Check on me.
You're gonna be amazing. You're gonna be fine. I already know. Like, I'm
gonna be dropping my kids off here.
Please, it's great
like,
birth control.
Your Auntie Jordyn and Uncle Carl got you for the day.
I'm like, let's go. Right. I love hanging out with my nephew, and niece. She's just like 5 months, so she's like just becoming like
making
more of a personality.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so how do you balance? This is a question someone asked too. They asked me to ask you. How do you balance LA life and Minnesota life? Because you're basically living a double life. You're like Hannah Montana.
I'm literally Hannah Montana, guys.
You're literally Hannah Montana, because you like have to put it on when you go, and then when you get to Minnesota, you're like,
actually, it's more Minnesota. Yeah, true. Let me fix myself.
Wait, yeah.
All right, Miley's back. Okay.
Just jokes.
Okay, how do the balance? I think the balance is a beautiful thing, because LA, I always feel this pressure of like doing something every day.
Yeah.
Whether I have something going on and I'm like, okay, I need to do this, I need to be doing this, I need to go organize my closet, whatever it is, I have an issue sitting still. So Minnesota gives me more of that calm that I need. So I get the balance of both, where I'm like, okay, I've been super productive in LA. I'm going to go to Minnesota and I'm going to be able to relax a little bit, hang out with my friends, go do the simple things. If you see me in Minnesota, I leave the house literally in like my Target pajamas, in Uggs, in a big jacket, and I do not care how I look. Like, I literally, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I roll out of the bed. I'm like, oh, let's go to Target. I don't care.
Wait, we're going to get breakfast.
Literally.
Meet you there at 10.
I'm like, oh, I'll meet you there. My hair is not brushed. Right. Like, just wash my face, brush my teeth, roll out. It's not like the sexiest thing, but like, but here, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's checking for me, taking photos, nothing. So I love it. Minnesota's like my little hideaway. And people that come here actually really like it.
Mm-hmm. Everyone does. It's a hidden gem.
Everyone's like, wait, when can I come back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice here. That's like so does your time away from Minnesota ever like create conflict for you and Carl? Because there are seasons when you're busier than others. Like, how do you guys get over that hump of
well, like I said before, during his season, as a woman, you have to be the one that's like showing up all the time. You have to get on the flight. I'm flying sometimes like every 3 days. I'm tired, but it's fine. You know, it is what it is. I would say it's a lot easier to be mad at someone than to miss them. Mm-hmm. So sometimes there's like, after I haven't seen him for a while, there's like little arguments that come up where I'm like, What are we even talking about? This is just because I haven't seen you. Like, you're just having an attitude just because, like, I haven't been there.
Right. Just say you miss me.
Exactly. I think sometimes it's hard for people to miss other people or at least be upfront with their feelings. So they end up, like, getting upset or frustrated or whatever. But it's fine. We make it work.
I love that you're so honest about that because I feel like that's every couple. And
yeah,
it's like
long
then people can see
is not easy.
Yeah, it's not for the weak. But it's like because we see you often enough to where you forget that it's long distance, but then like I'll be with you on Monday at brunch and then by Wednesday you're in Europe. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? We were like
tomorrow.
And it's a completely different hair style.
You're
and then
like,
you're like,
this is like a personality. I don't know her.
And then you're like on the cover of something. And then 2 days later you're like, hey, want to grab breakfast? I'm like,
wait, when did you even get back?
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
I love it too.
I think I like this little life. No, I like it. It's a love-hate relationship. I love it for what it is. I'm able to see the world, work, meet amazing people, have the opportunities. I know it's not forever. I know I'm not going to be on a flight every 3 days for the rest of my life. So I'm just embracing it.
Yeah.
I always say, like, this is, like, the youngest I'll ever be and take advantage of the opportunity that I have now because I'm not always going to be able to do it.
Yeah, you're always so optimistic.
You have to be. You know? You have to be. Life is hard enough. And if you choose to look at it, like, that way, they always say that saying, like, look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
It's just what you got to do.
Is what it is.
Keep it moving.
What would be your advice to other long-distance couples?
Figure out when you can move to the same place. Advice to
Does that
other
mean you're moving to Minnesota?
I'm
just kidding.
Honestly, I've been here for how long now?
You basically live here.
I mean, it's like a second home. When you're dating an professional athlete, it's like, do you really know where you're going to be moving to?
No. I mean, before the deadline, I was like, should I get some boxes or are we staying?
Yeah, I actually love Minnesota. Like, I wouldn't be upset staying here.
No,
it's like home now.
For sure. And you guys, I mean, this is all Carl knows. He's been
literally
with Minnesota for
9 seasons.
9 years. Yeah, we've been here for 5 years.
Almost
so it's
a decade.
That's insane.
That's like a long time.
Yeah, like it's like weird to even think of another place. But like when you're in this world, you know that it's always an option.
It's always a possibility. An option, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
It's just a business.
Right.
So Minnesota might be home his whole career.
Right.
And it might not be. But I think we'll always have a house here. Well, for the most part, we do love it here.
Yeah.
So.
Wait. We got off track too.
Okay.
Advice for long distance.
Oh, long distance. I have no advice.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, advice. Okay, long distance communication is key. Figure out what level of communication your partner like appreciates. Some people want photos, some people just want to talk. I think that's really all you have in those moments is like communicate. So figure out how your partner likes to communicate the best and what works the best for them, and always make time for each other. Whether it's like, let's schedule our FaceTime date, whatever you can, like just do your best to keep each other like clued in. I always say like you talk to a girl and you're like, she's venting about her man and she's like, I haven't heard from him all day, and then he hits her like, oh, I was busy. Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's not. But I would say like a little thing goes a long way. Like if you know you have a busy day, just being like, hey, babe, busy day. Hit you when I get a chance, thinking about you. Like,
yeah. Cool.
It's so simple.
It could all be so simple.
Sometimes guys like, not Carl, but in general, a lot of girls I talk to, they're like, oh, I haven't heard from him. I'm like, if only he just sent a text like, hey, I was doing this.
No issues.
Well, yeah. Some guys are, you know what? It's all subjective.
Right. It's true.
I'm like, some guys, I don't know. But communicate.
Yeah. What's been the worst relationship advice you've received or Carl has received?
I'm trying to think of the worst. I think I probably wiped it out of my brain by now. Like when people tell me negative stuff, I'm like, goodbye.
It doesn't even register.
But the worst advice,
and it could be like ever, or maybe advice you've heard.
let me think. What's the worst advice you've heard?
Like get back, or like, get even.
Oh yeah,
Match energy.
oh my gosh, that's
the
literally the worst. Take it from someone who's tried that. Doesn't work.
Don't match energy.
Do not match energy, because if this person's frequency is right here and your frequency is here and you match their energy, where are you taking yourself?
Yeah, you're just right there with them.
And you think these people like care, and they don't. Like you do something to try to get a reaction, and then they're just laughing at you.
Right.
Like, don't do it. Don't get even.
Right.
Don't get your lick back or whatever. Like, just don't. Just do you.
Yeah, just walk away.
The best thing you could do is just be better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get even. Just be better, because these guys, they don't care.
Right, at all. If
They're already like on to the next.
Right.
Like, just let it go.
Just let it go.
Don't get even.
Especially if it's like something dumb.
And
it's
never
like
makes you look good.
Right.
Or feel good.
Yeah.
If you need to do it to feel good, do it. Do you. Didn't work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Been there. Terrible idea.
Okay. Best advice.
Best advice. It's a lot of amazing advice. One, figure out their love language.
Mm-hmm. I always say that.
Because it's like, just because there's a way that you like to be loved doesn't mean that's how the other person likes to be loved. Like, words of affirmation go really far for some people, but some people might want acts of service.
Right.
Like, some people might want you to do stuff for them to show that you care, and not just tell them that you care. Like, oh, show up for me in this way. So figure out what's best and how to show up for your partner. And then as I'm getting older, I would just say try to keep your business between your households, just because you just don't want to entertain the outside energy. A lot of people have their own intention, and it's not really what's best for you.
That you actually sparked something. You guys have a very public relationship, yet so much has remained private, and you guys do a good job of keeping your stuff in-house.
The thing is, there's nothing really like, we haven't had any like huge secrets or anything like that.
Yeah.
Any simple argument, I'm not going to run to social media. Even if we're upset at each other about like something for a few days, I'm not going to like subtweet and go on social media. So I feel like every healthy relationship, you're not going to always agree on something. Like, you're always going to like have conflict with something, unless you're you guys. It's different. But I'm sure you guys, like,
we like disagree, but it just doesn't escalate. It's like we always remember the goal is to like overcome it. It's not me versus him. It's just a conversation. And like, I've always been very stubborn, but I've had to like let that go, because I realize like I'm fighting with myself
anywhere.
And he's not like that. So like, he'll put his pride aside and be like, okay, how do we fix this? Where we're both content with the solution, and like then we just move forward. So it doesn't ever get to like like a big conflict. But you guys, I feel like you're like one of the only relationships where you don't let the internet get involved.
Because to be honest, like, I don't know, I don't even like saying anything on like podcasts and stuff like that where it's like, oh well, he wouldn't do that, because I think anyone's capable of anything. I would just say, luckily, he's never like embarrassed me or done anything publicly to me or privately.
Right. In
like
general,
just
yeah.
in general.
Period. He hasn't done anything.
But like if he were to, I feel like it would only be on social media if other people took it there.
Mm-hmm.
Which other people have tried to like take it there, and it's just like there's no truth or validity behind what you're posting, so it's only going to go so far.
Right.
And people believe whatever they believe is like the truth and what's more entertaining.
For sure.
So it's like, okay, as long as we know and our like what matters, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
People like have so many conspiracies about people and like stories, and it's like
it's not that deep.
It's really not.
Okay, so know your partner's love language. Keep your business in-house. That's a big one. Any other one?
Continue to date your partner. What else? Like advice as a woman, I would say just love yourself and never stop loving yourself just because, or just as a person in general. Just continue to love yourself and pour into yourself, take care of yourself, because really you have to live with you. Don't live for other people. Get sexy sometimes for you,
right? Not
for the other person. Dress up sometimes for you. I mean, and for the other person, but
right.
like
depending on the occasion.
Do it for you so it feels good.
Yeah.
Like, cause sometimes I'm like, damn, I've been in a big t-shirt for like all week. Like maybe I should like brush my hair, do something. Like sometimes you have to do it for yourself, but like definitely keep it cute.
Yeah. I was just telling my sister that yesterday of like to love on herself and then just like treat herself the way she wants to be treated and like show that love, because you teach people how to love you. And if you don't, if you don't love yourself in the right way, then a guy's going to come right in and
take advantage.
Yeah, because you're not setting that boundary and that expectation of like, this is what I expect. This is what I provide for myself. And what you are is what you attract.
Yeah.
And she was just like,
I've been at so many stages with myself and like self-love that I get it. Like I was never fully like insecure, but I definitely had times where I didn't have a lot of self-worth. So I tolerated and accepted things that really weren't on my level or for me, or actually lowered my frequency because I didn't see what I deserved, you know? Like I also went through a phase in my life where I just didn't care about anything, especially after my dad passed. I was like so numb to everything that I just like my self-worth was
gone
out the window.
Yeah.
But she's back.
Okay.
She's back. She never left, but she was gone for a second.
Yeah. But it just took time and healing.
It's crazy. The people we can become.
Yeah. But how did you like just become to like who you are? Like, was it
a lot of self-reflection?
Yeah.
A lot of isolation, a lot of being by myself, and then having a healthy relationship and understanding, wow, there are people out there that are actually good people that will treat you the way that you deserve to be treated.
Yeah.
Like the bar is really on the floor right now. Like, I'm like, chivalry is dead. Men don't open doors.
Right.
Like, they see you in person and they hit you up on social media. They don't have to ask for your number anymore. Like, it's just, the bar is on the floor.
Right.
So
we have good men though. So we're like,
that's why I'm like, when you have a man that like goes above and beyond, you're like, wait. Hold on. Like, you're like, wait, am I worthy of this? Like,
yeah, you
are worthy of it. And trust me, every person, like, there's someone out there for everyone. Even if it takes a decade. Like, don't settle and don't lose hope.
Do not settle.
You know how many people settle just because they're like, oh, I'll never like meet someone, or like
time's running out.
Yeah. Women, I get it. We do have like a certain timeline. But there's someone out there for you.
What you want is not to too much.
Yeah. A lot of people want
I
to
had
make
an
you feel
ex
like
tell me that.
Yeah, you're
right
asking
before I
for
met
too
Jordyn.
much.
Yeah, like you're never gonna. And then when he found out that I was dating Jordyn, he like sent this crazy text and was like, he's gonna cheat on you and just be
You're
this
like,
terrible
well,
person.
How did that work?
Yeah, I'm like 8 years later, happily
Where is he
married.
Is he married? No.
Wouldn't know.
You're like, I haven't checked for him since.
Would not know. But
Yeah.
it's just like people will try to convince you what you want is too much. But it's just because they can't meet that.
A lot
and
of
that's
people will tell you that you're too much if they're insecure about where they're at.
For
like,
sure.
They'll be like, oh, you do too much. Oh, you said too much. Oh, you are asking for too much. And it's because they can't give that to you.
And even friendships, like if people try to like instill fear in your dreams or the things you're pursuing, that's a red flag for one. Yeah. But two, that's their own insecurity of feeling like they couldn't do it themselves. So they put that on you.
Or they're scared that you're actually going to do it and they'll never be able to do it. So they don't want you to even succeed. They don't want to give you the chance to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not mean girls over here.
No, yeah.
I want my friends to all succeed.
100%.
I want like them to take care of me, please. Please.
Right.
You got this.
Right. And if anything, like, I mean, anything you drop, I'm like first order.
Literally.
I
always
love
supportive.
seeing you thrive. I love seeing any woman thrive. Like any woman that's just taking that leap. And it's so scary to do something that you want to do, that you created. It's so vulnerable to put that out there. Your designs, your everything. Like you just, that's such a vulnerable, I mean, even the drop of the first episode, I like my stomach dropped because I just felt
perceive this well.
Yeah, it's so vulnerable, but I feel so like freeing. Like, do you feel freeing after you like do something
it's
like
motivating? You're like, oh wait, I can do this. And now I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You get scared and you're like, wait, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Right.
Or sometimes you gotta take that rejection and you're like, I'm gonna get better from this. Like, it's fine. But no, like, Anissa is one of the most genuine people anyone will ever meet. If you meet her, you're lucky. I thought I was about to knock this over. It's super rare that you meet genuine people, especially as we get older and like we're around this kind of lifestyle.
Yes.
Finding people that like you can see their aura just by them standing there. And it's bright and she's so bubbly and energetic and always nice to everyone. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know where you get this energy from, but I admire it. And I think we just like instantly became friends. I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't know how, but it was like, I feel like we were like, just like met each other and then we were like, yep. Yeah. Love her. And now we're stuck together. People. Yeah.
Well, it's been like almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
just about
4 seasons.
Like.
I don't think there's like a lot of girl, at least in other teams. Like, I don't think there's a lot of like girl unity.
Yeah,
and especially in major cities.
Right. I think Minnesota's done a pretty good job over the years.
I think we're one of the few.
Yeah, to bring the women together and everyone chat and want to do things.
But even I was talking to Chucky, like he was saying before you guys, I don't think there was much of like
I feel like it was more, I don't know, my first year here, it was just a little more it was just hard because it was COVID. Yeah, but it was like players, partners, and then like coaches, partners. Like I feel like it was. Now it's like a little more blended. And everyone kind of says hi to each other and sees each other. But I feel like now people hang out outside of basketball way more in the past. Because now like people were in Cabo and they meet up and yeah. It's like it's different.
But
now,
that's like how it should be. Because when you think about it, those guys are spending more time together than they probably are spending with us.
Right.
Like with the staff and the teammates and everything. So it should be like a family. We also should have a community of women that we can feel supported and just ask, like, where do I get my nails done? Where do I do this? Like,
no, you've literally put me onto my brows, my lashes, my
nails.
Right, everything. We just like switch. Or you're like, so and so's here. They're gonna do this. I'm like, speeding to get here. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I luckily I got my eyelashes and eyebrows done and didn't know I would have to go to Paris tomorrow.
They look amazing. Yeah,
Thank
Paris
you.
tomorrow. She's literally leaving, so
Found
this is
out, like,
perfect
today,
timing.
like a couple hours ago.
Right. So now you're on the way out. So I'm so glad we got to record this, and it means the world that you would come on my podcast.
Of course.
And be vulnerable and just
I know. I
talk
feel
about
like
everything.
we need to like do another one. And,
I
like
literally
really,
we didn't even get on like there's so many other topics we could talk about.
I mean, like he can always edit this, see how we feel about it. We could do it again if we whatever.
No, I think it was perfect. I think it's perfect.
I feel like I sound like what do you call it? A little vocal fry or something right now, but it's fine.
We'll see.
It's fine. That's just me.
But
everyone's like always like,
I don't think so.
She high. I'm like,
no.
I'm just mellow.
Right, literally. Okay, well, thank you for joining us on the second episode of Supporting His Fulfilling Yours. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye.